How is everyone today? Back again. We are back with more One Piece greatness. Just gonna copy the information, announce that we're live. How's everyone doing today? Been a long week, but we're here. As always, we're gonna be using TCB scans today, boys. I'll put the chapter in chat. I know a lot of people reactions are up early. One mainly because Brago was doing his typical One Piece scans, but I wait for real quality scans like an actual person should do. Just kidding. If Brago wants to do that, that's Brago. I know JD got his reaction up early. If I didn't have classes, I probably could have got my reaction up today, like around probably 11. But sadly, that is not the case. School takes more important. Real life shit always takes more importance. That is the president. But now we're here. Also, it is raining, so if the connection's a little slow or a little jittery, be aware. That's probably the reason why. And it's also going to be one of the reasons why we're not going to be staying too long today. I'll try to get to some Q&As at the end of the stream, but it's going to be hopefully a little bit quicker than normal. And I just don't want to, black out on camera here because of our internet connection. And yeah, also got stuff to do. So yeah, busy week. But nonetheless, we are back once again with One Piece 1075 Labo Stratum Death Game. That's not oh boy, that's not an interesting title to hear. And on the cover, we have Dr. Vegapunk. Hold on, let me fix my. There we go. Gotta fix my camera. Yeah, there we go. So we have Dr. Vegapunk and the 5 Elder Stars. So we have German 66 Cold Blood Voyage, Volume 31. Granted an audience with the 5 Elders due to his scientific genius. So he looks younger still, relatively, compared to what we saw on O'Hara. So he's already won the something Peace Prize, not Nobel, because it's like a pun on Nobel, but the something Peace Prize in this world for his gunpowder that turns to bubble. I think he's recognized by this point as the smartest man in the world. We do know that the government did break up Mads. I don't know if this is before or after that, but my guess is that he's going to speak with the Gorosei here. He's going to realize some truths about their hidden motives. He might even figure out Eam. If he does, then that might also shape the perception on why he works with Kuma and Dragon. And then that leads into the O'Hara flashback. Potentially, this is maybe how he meets Dr. Clover. But yeah, so interesting. I didn't even think about that. Like, he's actually talked to the Gorosei face to face before, and that's probably let him down because he still works for the world government because he's still a pragmatist. He's still like, hey, listen, I would love to do good things in the world, but for my inventions to work, I need funding, I need money, I need resources. World government has that, but he ultimately wants to do good. Anyway, so I'm curious on the next cover page what's gonna lead into Dr. Vegapunk. He seems happy, like, oh, I get to meet the 5 Elder Stars. That's cool. And then reality will sink in the next cover page where he'll learn the dark truth about what these 5 elders do, and maybe even Neem. All right, so first page, we have Come in, Pythagoras. Do you? Oh, okay. So this is probably Shaka. So after what happened with Pythagoras last time, there was an explosion, potentially an assassination. Come in, Pythagoras. Do you read? I heard a loud explosion. What's going on? Pythagoras, please, you need to respond. And then we get a zoom in of the tower area that Pythagoras is at. We have just nothing but smoke and debris. Hmm. I'm still wondering if it's Bluno. Oh, hold up. Yeah, had a hair in my mouth. Yeah, sorry. Professional. If it's Bluno that came here, that would be pretty interesting. That's one of the main ideas that I like. If it's Kizaru, okay. Doesn't really make sense because he should be guarding the Gorosei, unless this is the Gorosei guy, Saturn. I doubt it's Caribou, but that's an option. Those are like the 4 likelihoods. Well, let's see what it is. So we have Shaka. Has there been an incident? You weren't caught up in it, were you? Snail 12, Building C, check the surrounding areas to find Pythagoras. So we have one of the transponder snails on the ceiling. He's looking around, trying to find him. Shaka says, He's like, I think, stunned. What was that shadow? Oh, hmm. Is that the Gorosei guy? Chat, what do you think? Or I guess we'll figure it out later. I was going to ask, like, oh, the VOD, comment down below. Speaking of which, as always, if you like my content, which a lot of you do, but most of you aren't subscribed, definitely hit that subscribe button, like the video, leave a comment after the video is done, all that good stuff. Greatly appreciate it. It would support the content in the future. But yeah, chat, what do you think? Because if you look at the head, because I was gonna say Gandhi, Saturn does have that like what's that one hat? It's not a yarmulke. It's not a yarmulke, but it reminds me of a yarmulke. He has on his head, and his hair kind of does come out that way. But to be fair, it's a shadow, so there's some person that blocks the camera. Another explosion. Shaka's trying to find out. Hey, the snail, it's been hit, and then the feed dies out. What's up, Luffy? So Luffy kind of like, actually, unironically, because I have my headset on, he's like trying to listen in with like his headphone radio. Hey, helmet guy, is there something wrong with this? Everyone's voice cut off suddenly. Is someone tampering with their helmets, I wonder? Or is this a voice of all things? No, no, it might be a radio signal thing. So we have, all right, so whoever this guy is, whoever, I say guy, but whoever this person is, they're being very, very methodical where they're taking out the access to the dome. They're taking out the security cameras. They're picking them off one by one, and now they're cutting off their radio signals. So that's interesting. Very interesting. So we have next page Building C and Building A and Building B. So I was right. So you had, like I said last time, the water tower building, and then they had 2 other towers next to them. Those were the 2 towers Shock was referring to. Pythagoras, I believe, went to Building C from the explosion. You can also see it's in Building C, and Building B is also gone. So all that's left is Building A, but it looks like half of the top is like either gone or out of signal. 3rd floor, Building A. Where are you, Vegapunk? Heart? Oh, that's probably Nami. Yeah. Okay, so I was like, who would be saying that with a heart? Yeah. Nami's like, if I find him, I get money. I get a reward. Precious gems, gimme, gimme, gimme. So there's like a microwave of gemstones. Hey, ain't you being a bit too forward? Most just say they're pretty. Brooke and Edison are tagging along with Nami. Brooke then says there's no harm in it, right? Everyone's evacuating after all. Brooks saying, "Hey, listen, let her take some gems. It's not like they're going to be of use." And Edison replies with, "You're not wrong, but they're still reckoning you folks as a screw loose." And then Nami says, "Whew, this is quite heavy. Shall we head back?" And then Edison, "We're supposed to be looking for the Stella. Why do you have a pack?" She instantly didn't even ask. Mine, mine now has a backpack full of gemstones. But to be fair, this is like the most pirate that we have been as a crew for a very long time. I'm trying to think, like, when was the last time not just getting gold as compensation, because you can go back to Skypiea. When was the last time we just took treasure like a real pirate crew? I don't remember, man. I'm gonna be real with you. I don't remember the last time we took treasure. Like, I guess you could say, I guess you could say maybe the barrel when we are going to further bark, but like, that's like it was driftwood at that point. No one really cared about it. The last time we got any kind of gold, not just us stealing, but just any gold, it was from Skypiea. But it's like, yo, it's been so long since the pirate crew have acted like pirates. It's one of those things that you really think about, like, hmm. Anyway, next panel, fine. I'll just leave them for now, but we better come back this way later. Those diamonds are man-made. They're meant for industrial purposes. Oh yeah, that's like real life stuff. Like you can actually grow diamonds by compressing basically anything, but mainly hair follicles you can do that with. And then Brooke's like, "Wow, you guys can make diamonds?" And then of course Nami, "What's with that look in your eye?" Yeah, yeah. So to them, it's like, "Oh, this is science, not a big deal." Naomi's like, "Oh my god, you guys can make them? Oh hell yeah! The future really is a fabulous dream. You have enough already. The Stella is where our concern should be." So Nami, of course, hearing that they make more, is just infatuated. Which is, tangent, another tangent. If the world could produce diamonds as readily as, like, let's say Nami wants to be, diamonds would just basically be worthless. They would be the new pennies. And there have been a lot of talks of like how we could accomplish that, or space related things that could make diamonds basically worthless. And this is one of those things that you would think about. It's like this rare material that we've like conceptualized for a long time to be important in the future. If we did mine a huge pile of it in space, which there are, they just lose all its value. So I don't know, something about like Nami and like the future and gemstones being mass produced. I'm like, just made me think about that. It's like, it's cool, but then you're gonna get bored of it in the future. Second floor of building A. So they were on third floor. So beneath them we have I keep want to say Wrath. It's Atlas. Yeah, yeah. It's Atlas, Chopper, and Robin. Your face looks like it's healed up nice. Yep, I can replace any part of my body whether I need. Okay, so she's more mechanical than bio. That's the future for you. I wonder are these Vegapunks? Question mark. So they're in like a kind of like a factory building warehouse area where they're both of the parties are like going through all of Vegapunk's creations. Those are man-made organ wait, organ nodes? Is that supposed to be like a saying of organs? Hold on, is this a real word? Organ is it a real word? Organoid. Oh, it is a real word. Organoid. Plural organoids, an artificially grown mass of cells or tissues that resemble an organ. Oh, so he's manufacturing organs, which is again something that actually we can theoretically do. So an organoid, so a massive like cells. So he's probably trying to like spread. quote unquote world peace by making artificial organs. Okay. And also he makes the pacifista, and the pacifista do bleed, so do they have organs? Or even the seraphim? Like what's their bio, makeup? We know they have the green blood and they have wings and like skin and all that stuff. But like, do they have a heart? Do they have lungs? Like, I'm curious. And then she goes on to say they'll be indispensable for the doctors. So again, we're constantly seeing like, Dr. Vegapunk, if he could be given resources, like everything from, you know, food that we saw with that one microwave thing. Although Luffy said it didn't taste as good, readily available food could be distributed. Clothing, obviously, with their mass production of clothing, you have warping technology that you can travel, transportation, you have communication, you have resource production, you have medical field stuff. Essentially, science and Vegapunk's curiosity, imagination, and intellect could literally change the world for the better or for the worse, but either way would drastically alter the world as it is right now. But most likely they're hinting at this because Vegapunk's not going to get the chance to do that, or like someone later on, either like Chopper, Frankie, and other people are going to have to carry his experiments to the future to change the world. That's probably what's going to happen. They'll be indispensable for the doctors of the future. And then Chopper then goes on and say, "What? You can actually grow new organs? That's amazing." Yo, Chopper, you gotta step your shit up, man. I thought you wanted to be the greatest doctor there is. Like, this is something like Chopper should try to figure out how to do. Oh, I thought these were Vegapunk's organs and someone cut him to pieces. I mean, in theory, he cut his brain, so we still want to figure out how he did that. You're quite scary, you know that. And then we can go back to the command room where Shaka and now Luffy are. Command room, fourth floor of Building A. Luffy says, "What's going on?" Shaka is still monitoring, so I don't think it's Shaka. I'm gonna be real. Like, how surprised it is. Like, even though it's a good theory, unless like Shaka really is on some like double clone, like replacement pod shit, I don't think he is the traitor. If he is, that's crazy. Helmet guy, Edison. It's Shaka. Do you read? Oh, Edison. Oh, what's going on with Edison? Is Edison gone? Oh, wait, no, because of the radio. Yeah, so not because we just saw Edison. It's because the communication hub is down. Um, And then Luffy on the next page says, "I could hear everyone fine a second ago. I swear I didn't break it or knock it or anything like that, I think." And then he replies, "It's not that. Look at the screen." So all the monitors are constantly now having X's. So someone's taking out the security cameras. The security camera feeds, they keep going off one by one. Someone is ... Luffy, then ... question mark. He has another question mark. There's someone else in this lab, isn't there? Second floor building B. Sanji. Of course, here we go. Here we go. Here comes Simchi. "I can't believe it. I get to travel the seas with a lovely lady like you, Stussy. You were at Big Mom's party, right?" How perceptive. And then she replies, "If you can consider me a loyal dog." Wait, is that she or he? You know what? Yeah. Someone says, "You can consider me a loyal dog," and then just keep your... Okay, no. That's Sanji too. So we have Sanji. "I can't believe I get to travel around with a lovely lady like you, Stussy." Yeah. And he says, "You can consider me a loyal dog." Simp. That is some simp behavior. That is some Chainsaw Man behavior. And then Stussy says, "Keep your eyes out for the Stella body, you silly heart tune." And then Jinbei with his nice Hawaiian shirt. "This part of the lab sure seems pretty huge. That's because we're on the weapons development floor. You wouldn't want any shockwaves setting off down here." I mean, they've already fucked up this building though, so I mean, I assume a lot of weapons should have gone off. So the building B is the weapons. They haven't said, I don't think, what C is. And then A is kind of more like his invention storage house where he has all kinds of stuff. That's what seems to be the rundown. And then third floor of building C, left side. A bubble. Oh wait, no. If C, right? Am I reading this right? Hold on. Let me go back to the map. So they're in C. Yeah, Nami and Robin are in A with Luffy. So no one's gone in B. No one's gone in B yet. So we haven't seen what B is all about. Yeah, so A is more like a storage house. C is more like a weapons factory. And then B, we have no idea what the hell B is. So it's the third floor of building C on the left side, a bubble gun. So that's what she's been carrying around this entire time, an actual bubble gun. Was it SpongeBob? That's right. It makes the strongest bubbles. They can bounce anything back. So that's probably what Kuma or the pacifistas have. So there's a theory that it could be the mangrove bubbles. That actually would be kind of cool. The coding. I actually would think that would be pretty interesting if he could like re-engineer the bubbles to actually number one be produced without the mangrove trees, and then two specifically the coating that's used on ships because those are durable that he can use as projectiles, shields. I'm interesting how they could be as projectiles, like a bubble gun. Like unless we're gonna get into like some Caesar Zeppeli, like we're gonna like refract lasers or lights. I'm not really sure how this is gonna work as a weapon, but let's see. It makes the strongest bubbles. So then we have York, who's also there with Lilith, Usopp, and Frankie. I'm sleepy. Frankie then says, "What kind of attack just bounces things back?" Kuma, actually Kuma, but the bubbles before didn't look like Kuma's. Kuma's always has his paw. That was just like a regular circle. Hey, Vegapunk, you here? And then York, because she's tall. Look, this looks bad. I wonder what happened here. Okay, so they're near the explosion. They're near Pythagoras. Is this the aftermath of an explosion? There's someone here. Usopp says that. Ooh, Usopp, is that some observation hockey? Because you didn't come in clutch with that in Wild Country. I hope it is. But it's probably just him like, oh, there's someone over there. It's like, oh. Yo, Oda, please. You gotta expand Usopp's hockey usage, please. I understand like it's observation hockey and like Oda like has a hard time like utilizing observation hockey. We see it in this arc. We saw it in the last arc. He's so inconsistent with it because if he allows people to use observation hockey as they should on the regular, like no one should be getting snuck up on. Two, it like a lot of situations would go a lot quicker. So there's not a lot of drama, not a lot of finding people. It's like, but that's how it should work. You made that system in your story, but I digress. I don't want to go into a rant. Anyway, so Usopp sees Pythagoras. Hey, isn't that Pythagoras? So he's on the ground. Is his head gone? Hey, hang in there. Whoa, he's got no head. Yeah, okay. That's gory, says Frankie. Don't tell me it was blown off. That big boom we heard earlier, was it because of this? Oh, someone's near them. Come on, who is it? Who is it? Dang it. Okay, so it's God. Yo, stop dick teasing. What the who is the person? Who is the traitor? Or if it's not a traitor, who's the assassin that keeps like coming in here? It's just Pythagoras on the next page. So we see Pythagoras. I think we saw this before. He did remove his head, and it's like a little mechanic robot. So that's kind of interesting. Usopp, whoa, who's there? Hey, don't shoot me. It's me, Pythagoras. It's just I'm only a head now. Wait, what happened? Some kind of accident? No, this looks like an actual assault. It was the darndest thing. It sounds impossible, but I know my own eyes weren't playing tricks on me. Okay, so who did he see? Hurry up and just tell us. I'm forced to wonder if we made a grave miscalculation. Just Oda. Like this is actually the fans saying, "Oh, just say it. Say it. Stop dragging it out. Just say it." Huh? Where's York? Aw, didn't Edison order you to hold your horses earlier? York, you should really still be waiting. Oh, wow. So Boa, it was the Seraphim? Really? No, it's not the Seraphim. but the Seraphim's about to do a laser or make just no the Mero Mero. How? When? Where? Okay, wait a minute. How does she? It looks like she's about to do the Mero Mero beam, or like the Nero. I have now lived a full life, Meruem. So York is being a dumbass. You should really still be waiting out there, even though you're so cute. So, well, is it the Gorosei? Maybe. Because if the Seraphim is going to attack them, they had the order to wait. Yeah, it has to be the Gorosei. That's why this bow is attacking. But also, when did they get the Mero Mero ability from Boa to copy? Like, there was an old idea. Well, I guess not old, but like the first idea for these Seraphims was there was like a DNA test. Oh man, I lagged there for a second. Sorry if I'm going to be lagging. Did they actually prick their DNAs when they became warlords? Because I'm very confused. Like they have the Mero Mero beam, really? Also, the Seraphim can use the Mero Mero. Didn't like Kobe ask Boa to like undo the stone? So couldn't just the Seraphim do that for them? Hmm. Yeah, I'm not too sure. That this is okay. I got questions. I'm gonna have to go back and read. But anyway, so York obviously gets folded. York, you should get away. Love, love, mellow, mellow. So, oh my Jesus, yo, what is with people, man? Yo, Oda, goddamn, just full ass out and stoned. She got hit. Obviously, York got tapped down. Also, again, maybe York's taller, fair enough. But Boa is not that tall. Yet again, we're seeing that she's more smaller than not. Hey, yo. Oda, why are you so inconsistent with the Seraphims? What? A Seraphim? Why are you what? You shouldn't be able to move on your own. I command you to stop. Again, if they're not listening, it's gotta be the Gorosei. It's gotta be the Gorosei. Unless they're like because they said they grow over time, unless they're just now doing like the Terminator. Nah, we take over now. We are the top dogs for whatever reason. Unless we're gonna do a Terminator thing, I'm pretty sure it's the Gorosei. I'm pretty sure it's the Gorosei. So we have them now. So we have Boa Seraphim doing the laser. So that explains what happened last time. There was an explosion. Something's off here. Don't they realize we're Vegapunk? I know they're not accepting our orders, which has to mean it's the Gorosei. Come on. Yo, stop. Stop it. Come on. Show them. Show them. Say it. So they all dodge the explosion. So Lilith grabs Pythagoras, Usopp, and Frankie. Are they not going to go save York? Did York just die? Like, hey, yo, that's a big explosion. York's stone. York should be dead. But knowing Oda, she'll be fine. Son of a didn't see that twist coming. Should I return fire? Yeah, yo, fire a laser. That little girl, Shaka, we need to respond. It's no good. We can't reach him right now. Just quit joking around. We won't stand a chance in a fight. We designed them to be the most powerful beings around. Yeah, but that's Cap. Yeah, but it's Cap. They're not the strongest. Like, yo, if they were really the strongest, you should have said, fuck the warlords. Let's go after Shanks. Let's go after Blackbeard. No, they're not the strongest. I get what they're implying, but no. Command room. Oh my god, all over the place. Command room building A. Give me a hand, Luffy. What's up, Zoro? Okay, so Zoro. Oh shit, I don't have a sword. I don't have a sword. I got a pencil. But Zoro, he's got his two swords out. Give me a hand, Luffy. Luffy comes in swinging like a Tarzan, and Shaka's coming in too. And then both of them are shocked. All right, come on. It's got to be the Gorosei. Like, who else? Come on, let's go. S Bear and S Hawk, stop this immediately. You were ordered not to move. How good? No. good can you stop them right away? They were gunning for CP0. Oh shit, no. Luffy and Zoro gotta save. Oh, dude. Oh, I can see it now. I can see the memes. So Zoro bust out, Enma and whatever the other sword is. There's a babe, it's Nine. Let them die in cuffs. We should leave a would Zoro really? Oh my god, my owner won't let them die. It's like, I mean, they've done some pretty fucked up shit, Zoro. So I don't know. Letting them die in their cuffs would just leave a bad taste in my mouth. So that's why he's defending them. So Kuma and the Mihawk one, yeah, no, the Mihawk one, dude. I'm gonna be real with you. I think outside of Kuma, I think the Mihawk and Boa one aren't tall. I don't think there's like giant DNA in them. They nah. I think it's inconsistent, but I don't think they're giants. I don't think they're meant to be giants. Kuma obviously is Kuma, so they're not listening. Okay, so again, they're really stringing this along. Why aren't they listening? Oh no, it's gotta be the Gorosei. Unless we're gonna do a whole Android 19 or a 17 and 18 situation where they're not gonna listen. They've evolved enough to like overcome their priority chips, which I doubt that. I doubt that. Maybe in the future. So another big light explosion within the command centers. Luffy, Zoro, Shaka, and then Luffy and Zoro save Kaku and Rob Lucci. If they won't take my orders, then they must have been activated by a command issued by a Vegapunk or someone higher. Hello. And then let's see, between the communication blackout and the barrier sealing us in, this is beginning to seem like an elaborate plan. Somebody's trying to kill us all. They want us dead. Oh, finally, you two woke up. This is no good, Seraphim scamps. Hey, Straw Hat, Ronona, how about we let bygones be bygones for right now? We could form a temporary alliance. The two of us would be much. Oh, wow, the explosion woke them up. We would be much more useful out of these cuffs. And then that's the end of the chapter. Oh, what? Are you serious? We're dragging this shit out longer? And those, oh my god. Oh, are you serious? This was like it's so obvious it's the Gorosei because we know. Like there's no because I can already see it. I already know what the dumb theory is gonna be. The dumb theory that some people are gonna be is that they think the real Vegapunk, the real one, is betraying all of them, which wouldn't make sense. It wouldn't make sense. We already know that he wants to go to Ohara. We know that he has, Dr. Clover, all that stuff. We know, like, he's a little kooky and his whole internet experiment is kind of weird and invasive, but it's not like he's evil. He's pragmatic, but not a bad person. If anything, he wants to spread peace in the world. Not like, oh, what is my perception of peace? As everyone else follows. Like, no. Genuine peace he wants to spread and knowledge and all that stuff. So it's not the main Vegapunk. I know people really are gonna probably think that now. Listen. Go back to that camera. I'm telling you, it's the Gorosei dude. Look at it. Like, look at his like head shaped. It looks like that like brick hat he has, and those look like dreadlocks. Those look like dreadlocks. And again, why aren't the Seraphim listening to the Vegapunks? Well, we already know in the story that unless someone with a higher level than the Vegapunks order them to do something, they shouldn't respond to anyone else. But who is above them? Oh, the Gorosei. And who's here right now? A Gorosei. Saturn. It's Saturn. No, like it's not the Dr. Vegapunk. He's betraying all of them. Blah blah. No, it's not that. It's not Caribou. It's not Bluno. It's not Kizaru. Nothing. Nope. It's Saturn. It's Saturn. Like Saturn is on the move. Saturn is on the move, taking out their security cameras, taking out their surveillance stuff, all of that. Now, why did the dome system go down in the first place? Because he should have been still on the ship. Again, I don't know. That could be Caribou. That could be Caribou's doing. But what's happening right now is Saturn. I'm placing my money on that. I'm placing my money. Like, chat. Like, go to like this page. Hold up. Let me, maybe I can copy it. Here we go. Here we go. I'll post it in chat. Come on. Look at that security camera. It looks like Saturn. Like, come on. Come on, man. It's Saturn. Anyway, all right. So, relatively, actually, we bounced all over the place. This was a relatively quick chapter. Not really much to it. It's just the really in your face Oda's like, oh, I wonder who it is. I wonder who it is. Like, he's really like putting like the signs there, but at the same time, he's trying to keep it not answered immediately just to string us along and be like, oh, I wonder who could be ordering the Seraphim to be doing. It's like, we know who it is. We know who it is. And again, it can't be the regular Vegapunk because again, he's not a bad dude. If it's the regular Vegapunk, I'm gonna be really confused. Like, okay, why would the regular Vegapunk want to kill off the rest of the Vegapunks? Like, nah, that doesn't make sense. That does not make sense. It's him. It's him. Like, come on. Look at his hat. Look at the hat. And look like at like some of the black marks of the hair. That looks like dreadlocks. No, I'm tired of this. It's the Vegapunk. I mean, it's the Gorosei. It's Saturn. But outside of that, what else do we get in this chapter? Again, cover page. I'm very interested in what's going to happen because also, if that's a sign, I mean, we have the Gorosei on the cover page with Vegapunk. Where's Vegapunk now? Who's doing all this? Who's ordering the Seraphims? The cover page in this case, I think, is very, very key in what's actually happening right now. But outside of that, I'm very curious on what this cover story is going to dive into. Longer than I thought it would be, but now we have Vegapunk talking to the Gorosei back in the past. I wonder what he's going to learn, his perspective on the Gorosei, all that stuff. Then we get into obviously the communication like signal is now down. They can't radio the command center. Shaka is trying to figure out what's going on, who took out Pythagoras. We have that shadowy figure. Luffy's trying to ask what's going on, and Zoro as well is confused. Nami, Brook, and Edison are on the third floor of the main center building, Building A, and they're specifically kind of in like a resources facility where they make homegrown gems and other kind of materials that Nami and the future of society would be very, very nice to have, although it would basically be worthless at that point. But they're all shocked, like, oh, wow, so many gemstones. This is nice, even though for Edison's like, yeah, it's nice, but you shouldn't take it. Then right below them is Chopper, Robin, and Atlas going into a medical floor where Dr. Vegapunk has done a lot of experimentations with prosthetics and I'm sure other organic tissue and like false organs that people could use for obviously hopefully good purposes. And Chopper's just amazed by that. And then we have Luffy and Shaka talking about what's going on. The signals are going out, the laboratory, and that someone else is here. Again, Luffy, I'm not really sure why your observation hockey is not kicking in. Like, remember, go back to like, what chapter was it? Hold up. I'll pull up the chapter. I'll find the chapter. Because back in Fishman Island, Luffy was a beast with his observation hockey. It's crazy. And again, I was talking about Usopp this chapter, but it was mainly because I was wondering if he used his observation hockey to see Edison, but nah, he's probably just looking right in front of him. He's probably just looking right in front of him. Okay, so I'm pretty sure it was like 597. Like, go back to like Fishman Islands, and Luffy's like just casually after the whole Horty Jones incident, him losing blood, him and Zoro and Sanji are just chilling after the party. inside the Rigu Palace. And, lo and behold, he just instantly senses, Caribou just doing stuff somewhere within the palace. And he asks, Zoro and Sanji, like, hey, you sense that? It feels like a wild beast is acting up. So it's like, unless like we're gonna get into like, oh, you can camouflage your bloodlust, or you can like dilute someone's observation hockey, like on some Shanks level stuff. I don't know. Okay, 650. 650. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, chapter 650. Yeah. It's just like, I do wonder why Oda is just like all over the place with his observation hockey use, but that's another thing. Then we go to building B with the weapons factory. And on the second floor, we have Sanji simping yet again, and Jinbei wondering, like, wow, this lab is huge. And then Stussy replies with, yep, you wouldn't want a shockwave to go off here because we'd be screwed. And then just above them, on the third level of that same building, oh no, they're actually in a different building. I'm sorry. Nami, Chopper, and Robin with Edison and Atlas are in building A, the main central building, and then Sanji is to the right. He's to the right side in building B, which is the weapons factory, and then Frankie, Usopp, Lilith, and York are confronting Pythagoras, and then later on the Boa in building C. Okay, sorry, I'm trying to get used to the layout of where they are. And then York is the one that sees Pythagoras first, and then Usopp then replies. We find out yet again that yes, Pythagoras does have like a mini Arnold head, and he can walk around. And it turns out who was assassinating him? It was the Boa Seraphim. How could that be? Also, it's confirmed she has the Mero beam. Now, the question is, how and when and where did they get that DNA from Boa? Is the theory correct that the warlords have to like prick their finger or send in a DNA test to become warlords, and that's how they get it? And if that's the case, my other question is, back in chapter 150? No, where was it? Cross Guild, New Age? Isn't it New Age? What chapter was it? No, that's when Momo was piercing Green Bull. Oh my god, Green Bull. What chapter was the Seraphims revealed? That's them leaving Wano Country. What chapter? Where is it? It's not in the Cross Guild chapter, is it? No, that's all just buggy stuff. Next chapter. What's the next chapter? There we go. So in chapter 159, when Seraphim Boa is lighting up the island, and they're confronting Boa Hancock. Hold up. Get out of here, Boa Hancock. Can't say I'm surprised. We expected other pirates to be here. One Piece, the Navy isn't looking for a fight. If you surrender yourself to us, I promise we will leave immediately. So then we have the slave arrow that Boa does. Okay, so I'm gonna go S Snake in this case because now you have both Boas in a chapter. So Boa Hancock uses her slave arrow on the Marines. Helmeppo and a Vice Admiral Yamakija gets tagged by Boa. Then we have the, I think, Mihawk one or Boa one just blowing up areas. So S Hawk or S Snake are blowing stuff up. You'll smash the people who've been turned to stone. Please stop right away. That's an order. And then Boa's about to do a perfume, probably femur. Blackbeard then in the transition tags Boa. The Blackbeard pirate crew is also petrified. Marines and other pirates are also petrified. And Boa says, "My beauty is what makes my powerful so formidable. If you kill me, all your little friends will remain statues forever. Whoever inherits my power won't be able to release them." I knew it. Boa Hancock is far. So even this Boa clone. So Boa's clone couldn't undo the ability? Really? But they're not inheriting the power. Like, I guess this does speak to maybe their individuality. Because we were wondering, are they an exact clone or identical being to the originals? And unless we want to then get into like Oda wasn't thinking for this panel, this actually might prove the Seraphims are in fact their own being, because Kobe here is like, well, what are we going to do? Everyone's been turned to stone. Hey, because they should know that these Seraphims probably have devil fruits. In particular, this one should have Boa Hancock's ability. And if they're identical clones, you would think she could undo the ability. But if you take Boa's words to heart, if you kill me, your little friends will remain statues forever. Whoever inherits my power will not release them. And then, again, the Marines, I know they can be stupid. Don't get me wrong. After that O'Hara flashback, I understand they can be dumb. But, like, they should know this S-Snake has the ability. And if we treat them as identical clones, they should be able to give it a shot. But because that may not have happened here, this actually might be the onus to say that these guys are not identical people, creations, their personalities, memories, etc., might have a little divot of individuality because the devil fruits will not work the same way. That's actually my So it's either A, Oda wasn't thinking here, or just forgot, or just didn't like actually think about like her having the ability yet here, or this is like hardcore evidence that the Seraphims are their own individual existence, that they are not identical clones to the original. I know people are going to say, well, obviously, because they have the Lunarian DNA, they have pacifista modification. You know what I mean, though. I'm talking like hardcore down to like their very essence, like their personalities when they grow up. Like S Hawk may not be as cold blooded like Mihawk, which might go into what Zoro was saying a couple of chapters ago. This might now confirm that Boa Hancock's clone may not grow up to be as, for lack of better words, bitchy as she was before she met Luffy. She might actually be up to be a lot more timid or a lot more generous, a lot nicer. So that's what this is. That's what I'm going to take away from this chapter, because she can do the ability here. And if you go back to what was it? Chapter 158. If you go back to 158, or no, is it 158? 159. If you go back to 159, it really now adds on to the question that, yes, these are their own characters. These are their own beings. And then we have also in 159, Boa. From the sounds of it, the Navy are looking to replace the Seven Warlords with these new weapons than her sisters. Even after everything, those two didn't have a single scratch on them. It's bizarre. One of them looked just like Big Sister did when she was a kid. So that might mean they may only look like them, have some of their memories, divots of their personality, but they are their own beings. And I think actually, to tie this into another thing that's in this arc, which I mentioned earlier when we started this arc, there was something that Atlas said to Luffy and the gang. No, not this. Hold up. Trying to save this chapter so I can have it for later. All right. What was the chapter? Alice said something to Luffy about, oh, you have a small concept of individuality and how that is perceived. Anything can have like an identity, even if it's created. I remember she said something to that extent. She said something like that. I think it was Atlas, not Lilith. Here we go. Let me see. You guys sure can eat a lot. All four of you. Well, I ought to get back to work. If I don't run a riot, no one will. Nah. Let me go to the chapter preview. Yeah, that's when the Blackbeard pirates. She says something to that extent about individuality. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it wasn't Lilith. It wasn't Lilith. Okay, here we go. Actually, this is a winter island, but the environment is set with a tropical mode. With my island air conditioning invention, you can now specifically registrate the island to be regulated at any temperature you want in this area. Atlas and Luffy, they dogpile each other. That's the food machine I was talking about earlier. South, north, steak, right? Uh, it could turn raw ingredients into that makes pizza pasta. But I can't be too happy since the lack of component engineers means it really pisses me off. This island air conditioning is the same and is in the same damn boat. Of course, with these photonic gloves, perception shapes your sense of reality, but touching a projected object turns that on its head, doesn't it? Huh? So that girl, is she real? Here we go. Here's what I wanted. Atlas says in chapter, what chapter is this? This is chapter 162. She says to Luffy after the hologram beings come into existence, she says, debates on what makes something real are as old as time. It's something you have to decide for yourself, but I consider the matter settled. So, just what are you? Me, just your resident science genius, Dr. Vegapunk. Okay. I think that goes into what I've been saying about these seraphims for the last couple of minutes now. That they are, in fact, their own individual living beings. I mean, they're living in the sense of they are artificially growing and adapting to scenarios. But what is, a personality and other characteristics of life? Do they have that? And I think the answer is if you really like go back and check the other chapter because of Boa Hancock's ability, if Kobe's just not being dumb there, which he could be, it proves that yes, these are their own characters, or characters in the sense of when we're reading the story, they are not Boa or Mihawk 2.0. They're gonna act differently. And what was that chapter with the Mihawk and Zoro? Here we go. Found it. Found it. Here we go. In chapter 172. No, 173. In 173, when he clashes with Mihawk, on closer inspection, you're not the same. You actually have a spark of humanity. Now, whatever that means with Mihawk, that's another whole story. But again, this now proves that the Seraphims are not identical clones in personality or identities. They are their own individual beings that will grow up to act and behave however they choose to be. That's what it looks like. Okay, sorry for that long tangent. It's just the whole ability thing got me in the first place thinking like, well, why didn't she use it against Boa or free the Marines? And most likely because now we have that information from Boa Hancock. That's probably what that means. That she couldn't use ability because she's a clone. It's because she's not an identical clone. that these beings are not one-to-one to their original. Therefore, the power will not work the same as Boa Hancock, the original, as Snake would use it. Anyway, outside of that, again, we have the whole lead on that Oda's trying to make us think like who or how are these seraphims disobeying the order? Again, my main guess, it's the Gorosei. It's the Gorosei guy, and leave it at that. Option number 2, it's actually Vegapunk and he's betraying them. I don't buy that. Option 3 is that we're doing an Android 1817 Terminator thing where they're adapting, evolving, thinking on their own, and said, you know what? F Vegapunk, F everyone. We are going to take over. We're going to do whatever we want. That's unlikely too, but I'll take that over Vegapunk being evil. I'm more okay with that, but I think it's Gorosei. I think it's dead set. And then we have the Kuma one. So S-Bear and S-Hawk are now going to face off against Luffy and Zoro and potentially Shaka. And we're going to figure out why are they acting up this way. And because of the explosion, Zoro, out of his own pride, makes sure to save Kaku and Luffy with Rob Lucci. And then potentially now we have an alliance that's going to happen between them. But Luffy and Zoro are doing that meme Whitebeard and Odin face, like, disgusted. I can't believe you would ask to team up with us. That kind of face. It's like, huh, okay then. Okay. And that's where it ends off. Kind of just a circle. We just went in a little bit of a circle with only a little bit of information being figured out. It's kind of like you didn't really develop too much there. But yeah, overall, it's okay chapter. Not as good as the last chapter. I'd probably give it like an 8. It's all right. 8, 7.5. It's okay. It's okay. My main thing is just one, the Boa Hancock thing leading into their own individuality. 2, Gorosei. And 3, the alliance thing. Yeah. Everything else is just little tidbits that Vegapunk is really a mad, crazy, skilled scientist who can like develop so much for the world. And this might lead into like he potentially might die, which is a tragedy because the world will lose this great man that could have changed it. But the future will be carried on. His will lives on with Usopp and Chopper and Nami and X, Y, and Z. Something like that. That might be why we're getting all these details. Outside of that, nothing really. Maybe you can like, because again, I talked about the observation hockey thing for a minute, and then the heights. The heights of the Seraphim just seem mainly the smaller ones, not Kuma one. The smaller ones just seem to be regular size, but we've seen that they've fluctuated. I don't know. They're weird. Either way, I'm gonna open up to Q&A, and yeah, we'll end it off there. Nothing really much. Tomorrow we're gonna go into Welcome to Demon School chapters, 4 of them, and then we'll be in the roundtable with Cole later to discuss the chapter. So yeah, if you want to go check that out, go subscribe to King of Lightning's YouTube and Twitch channel, and then you'll find me there moderating and then being in the roundtable. But for right now, Q&As. So Julius down bad Sanji, yeah. Yeah. Sanji just down bad yet again. Lupin, thank you for returning again, my man. I'm betting all my money on Vegapunk evil clone now. Vilepunk? Why would like a different clone than the satellites? Like an actual like again, because we've seen like the Seraphims, they're not identical, but a quote unquote identical clone. It's creative, but I don't need a Vegapunk Black. I don't need a Vegapunk Black or Vegapunk Alter. Yeah, I'm good. It would be interesting, but nah. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. Keep it clean. Simple and clean is the way to be, as Kingdom Hearts told us. It's Gorosei. And then finally, Lupin again. We have, well, if you take two twins with the same DNA, they're actually different individuals. So it's no. In real life, twins aren't identical in the sense of everything that they do. They may have started off as one cell and then splintered off. Well, that doesn't make them identical. So yeah, no. Like true identical beings in our world don't exist. That is for sure. Um, I'm just saying in a more fictitious world, like a manga or a comic or sci-fi, you usually do have the concepts of manufactured identical beings that are usually robotic in a way. So this now I think proves that Vegapunk's creation, though advanced as they are, and they might have splintering personalities of the original people, they're not fully identical and will be their own people. Again, if you go back to chapter 159, if it's implied from Boa herself that no one, even with her power, can undo her ability that she used at the time, that means Boa Hancock clone, the S Snake, can't undo it. Therefore, she's her own personality and her own being. This also then ties into chapter 173, where we get Zoro interacting with S-Hawk, where he says, you're not like him, you have a split of humanity in you, again, showing that he's not exactly Mihawk either. And then this can all the way back in the beginning of Egghead in chapter 1062, go back to what Atlas was talking about, what it means to be alive and have your own personality, which I think is a very big sci-fi theme in general, but for this arc, it works. So I see what you mean, Lupin. Yeah, obviously, like they're not going to be their own people. I think that was clear from the jump, but people need to know, like, to what extent are they alive? I think now it's pretty very clear they're going to be eventually probably removed of their command chip, and then as they grow older, bigger, more intelligent, worldly, they will be different than, like, let's say as Hawk, when he grows up, again, he won't be as cold or calculative as Mihawk. As Snake won't be as bitchy as, Boa Hancock was before she met Luffy. She might be nicer. All that kind of stuff. So yeah, yeah. Lupin again, you could use Kuma's power to clone the memories of a being. That way you have an But Kuma takes everything. It's not like you could get portions of someone's identical feelings or memories. Like, again, for Bonnie, she took a portional chunk of his memories. And we assume that the Kuma that we see at the Red Line has no memories up here, nothing. His whole cognitive personality is not in there anymore. It's all in the bubble. So his ability is a all or nothing ability. I don't think like his ability like slaps the memory of someone and then a bubble is like a copy. Like it's another file, a save file of what is already existed. I think it's just he moves the memory somewhere else, or he moves that pain of someone out and it stops existing there. And then pain's more easily to accumulate over again, but it's not going to be the exact same pain. Just as memory can be accumulated over time with new experiences, but it's not going to be the memory they once had. So I don't think he slaps and makes a clone bubble. I think he slaps and just removes all that was, and now it's there. So I don't think you could make a clone that has the exact personality and memory of Boa or Mihawk, even with Kuma's power. You might actually have their full personality, but that means like the Boa before S Snake is now going to be like mindless, or maybe even like brain dead. So I don't think that's how that works. Long story short, but I see what you mean there. And let's see if there's anything else in the chapter. Oh, the bubble gun. So the bubble gun's interesting. Again, I wonder if that relates back to Sabaody. or the red port with their bubbles. That'd be kind of cool. Those bubbles are kind of sturdy, or the Fishman Island bubbles. That would be cool. The quote unquote ultimate defense, let's make again. The Vegapunks are very proud of their tech. That's for sure. I'm gonna wager though, Kaido's like scales and defense. I think that's might be just a bit better. Just a bit better. But hey, that's just me. That's just me. But hey, it's cool. It's a bubble gun. Let's see what it can do. It could be like some Caesar Zeppeli stuff where she makes multiple bubbles that are impassable, but then you can reflect lasers through it. That'd be kind of cool. And yeah, Vegapunk may be able to duplicate the bubble and put into another body, maybe, but you would have to wonder why didn't he duplicate Kuma's memories and just give it to Kuma? Like maybe in the future he could duplicate memories. We know Vegapunk's personality is splintered between his clones, but splintered. It's not, oh, all of it's still in me and all of them have a copy of it. It's fragmented personalities that I have that are within them, which might speak more to his characteristic of like the main Stella right now. And we know that with the radio signal and the Labo stratum, his information that he absorbs, that's identical to what they all know because that's more information and data processing that gets transported into the brain that is shared through all of them. But that's kind of like different than like the memory. But maybe in the future, he could figure out a way to copy the memory bubble to where they have like backup versions of the memory bubble. But I don't think right now he can. I'm talking about the Seraph. Yeah, no, I see what you mean about the Seraphims, but the Seraphims aren't 100%. Again, like they are, from what it seems like, Shaka the Good is like all of Vegapunk's good personality, or like his majority of his good personality. Because if like Vegapunk was not the main one, not good at all in his main body, he would be doing probably some weird shit. But he's not. He probably has like a portion, a small portion left compared to what Shaka has. His quote unquote evil or twisted self, you know, is in Lilith, but it's not like his quote unquote 100% evil self. You have his laziness in York. You have his inventorness. That's not even a word. His imaginative in Edison. You have his calculative in Pythagoras. Like splintering personalities, while he maintains a small portion of that in himself, and the data that he accumulates. That's what's shared over time. That's what's shared completely with the other seraphims. But his whole memory and identity is not in those seraphims or the Stella bodies. The kids, not the Vegapunk. Yeah, okay. So the seraphims, I don't think Kuma's bubble gave them like the ability. Potentially, maybe through studying the bubble, maybe he figured out how to get their personalities. But again, the whole point is here, even if they have a small bit of their personality, because of them having any kind of unique personality that overrides their whole innate being. Therefore, someone like Boa can't use, or S snake. I keep saying S hawk initially. I don't know why, but S snake cannot petrify or depetrify one of Boa's stones, because that means she is an individual of her own existence. So she has some inkling of what Boa's personality and memory might be, but it's probably not complete, and therefore she's not an identical Boa. She is her own S snake. You use Kuma's power on Boa and then give the Boa. But okay, That would be like another thing. When did Kuma do this? Like, we have to really figure out, like, how exactly did Vegapunk get Boa and all these guys' DNA samples? That's number one. You're saying use Kuma's power on Boa and then give the bubble to the kid? But again, I don't think Kuma copies anything. I think it's an all or none scenario where, for his personality right now, in that Paul bubble that Bonnie's at, it's everything. Every single memory slash personality is slapped out of himself. So I don't think right now in the Kuma that's climbing the red line, I don't think he has anything in his brain or in his thoughts. It's all gone. I don't think Kuma can like copy, like he slaps himself. Memories are still in there, but a bubble is now copied of what's in there. I think it's all or nothing. So if he slapped Boa to get her memory and personality into a bubble, the S Snake could have it, sure. I don't think Boa would have anything, though. To be fair, we don't know how his ability works. That's true. It could be a different reason why he doesn't like function properly anymore. Like when we like saw him against Ivankov, there could be another reason why he doesn't respond to him or why he acts so mechanically. It might actually be like, Vegapunk wired something into his head, not his ability got rid of everything. My best guess, though, is that his ability takes everything and leaves nothing. Therefore, Kuma has no memory or personality left right now. So if he did that to Boa or Mihawk, he'd take all their personality, and now the Seraphim could have it, but that means the originals have nothing. He was able to separate the damage, but that's damage. That was damage, though. This is like personality. How the memories and like that work may have a whole different subset of rules than just damage. You're right. He did splinter it off, but there was still a majority of the bubble left over. And we see Bonnie can gain a little bit of the bubble in her right now, but there's still more of the memory left over. So if Kuma were to slap out all of like Boa's thing, like you were talking about, to make an identical clone, you need all of it. You can't just have a portion of it. A true identical clone, like in theory, has to have the exact same memories, personality, down to a T. You, with Kuma's ability, you could get more of it. Maybe. Like if he took all of it out of Boa, then like siphoned off a little bit of it, give it to S-Hawk, yeah. But again, the problem comes back to, at the end of the day, there would be nothing left in Boa. Again, I don't think like he copies and then makes a bubble. I think he slaps it all out, and then once it's all out, you could take portions of it away. But then if the main bubble right now, let's say what Bonnie's working with, went back to Kuma, that bubble would be incomplete because now Bonnie has some of the memories and Kuma is missing pieces of his memory or personality. That's how I think it works. Yeah, I know. It's the pain bubble, not the memory bubble. But I'm saying when Kuma does that, he takes all of it out. Then you can chop away at it. But if you return it back to the person, it's incomplete. So again, I don't think you can make an identical clone with Kuma's ability. I see what you're saying, Lupin. I just don't think you can do that with it because it leaves one person either out of memory or personality, or they would be incomplete. Because I don't think Kuma can copy a pain bubble or copy a memory. It's just all of it. All of it. And then you can like give chunks to people or give back the entire thing. But if there was chunks already taken out of it, potentially that person may not remember everything. If the shadow is Saturn, where's Kizaru? Good question. If it is Saturn, which I do think it is, that might mean that Kizaru as a quote-unquote bodyguard, it's more of a superficial kind of thing. Because you see that in a lot of anime and a lot of shows where let's say, for instance, Hunter x Hunter. Those who have seen it, those who have not seen it, spoilers nonetheless. Meruem. Meruem does not need bodyguards. He doesn't. Let's be real. He was clean. He was clean. Yet, nonetheless, you had Shia Pito, and Yuppie, his quote unquote royal guards to guard him. It could be like that, where Saturn, yeah, he's older, and like Kizaru doesn't want to take risk in getting him poisoned, but Saturn is like an actual like stud, where it's like, all right, enough of putting on the airs. Let me go do some shit. Kizaru, you stay with the fleet. You guard the perimeter so no one leaves. And I'm going to go in there and I'm going to take care of business. That's what could happen if this is Saturn. Kizaru would never risk his life. But here's the thing. If Saturn is like, again, confident, if he's like actually studly and he orders Kizaru, there's nothing Kizaru can do about it. So it doesn't matter if Kizaru is worried about his life. If this is like a whole Meruem situation where Saturn is clean and he orders Kizaru to guard the area and he goes in, there's nothing Kizaru can do about it. You say that, like, again, this is my problem. Lupin. This is one of my problems. I don't understand what's going on with Luffy in Observation Hockey. I don't understand what's going on with Oda in the last couple arcs of Observation Hockey. Mainly Wano Country and now. Characters should be just sensing what's going on. We've seen this. Yeah, some characters have to actively activate their Observation Hockey in sensing areas. Some are more passive than the others. Luffy at this point should have a certain level of passive Observation Hockey. So if Saturn's coming in there, yeah, I do agree. Luffy should sense him. But to be fair, he didn't sense where Vegapunk was, and we know Luffy at this point should be able to sense the island, or at least the Labo Stratum. But that could be various other reasons. But it's like Luffy didn't even bother using Observation Hockey there. But I see your point. But Oda's kind of been inconsistent with that. So it could still be Saturn. It's just no one used their Observation Hockey. I don't know what to tell you. Like, King, if we go by the anime standard, the manga, it's a little less clear. But King, in the anime in Wano Country, when the numbers were showing up for the first time, it's implied he sensed the numbers on Wano Country when he was on Onigashima. And then, Queen was like, wait, what? The numbers? But then, Kinemon and the Scabbards, they snuck up on King, Queen, Jack, Kaido, who's a future sight user. It's like, what's going on there? What's going on there, Oda? I don't know. Oda uses Observation Hockey when and where he chooses. That's just it. Then let's see. Vegapunk clone makes way more sense. Why? Why would he have another clone? Another clone? Hey, yo, man. This is actually, mega passive pain. I have this is actually Cell then. It's another android cyborg. Why? Why would he have another clone? No, I know. A real clone. A quote-unquote more identical clone. Why? What would be the purpose? We've already seen the other Seraphim can be studly when it comes to combat. To an extent. Why would he invent a clone? Because I know the main reason people are going to be like, well, maybe this is a fighting clone. Why? Why would he need a fighting clone? He has Atlas, and he has, all these other guys with tech, and also he has the Pacifistas and the Seraphims. Why would he need a fighting clone? Vegapunk doesn't seem like the kind of dude that needs a fighting clone. Unless he's just hey, if I'm going to make people have Lunarian DNA, lasers, devil fruit powers, potentially giant DNA, I'm going to make myself a clone. It's but why didn't you do that with the other Stellas then? I don't know. I prefer Gorosei. I prefer Gorosei. Then I actually like the idea that maybe the Seraphims are developing a lot faster, because they did say that a couple chapters ago, that they were developing a lot faster than they had predicted cognitively. I will go Gorosei. The Seraphims are striking back. Then I'll take Vegapunk as evil theory. Then I take the evil clone Vegapunk. Like, I don't want to alter Vegapunk. No. He tried cloning himself, then failed, and created the others. So this is a failed clone, a quote evil clone. Yeah. Sorry. I was getting a little hungry. In fact, it is a lot longer than I thought it would go. So it's not lame, Lupin. It's not lame. It's just likelihood. I think the likelihood of what they've already set up, that they already said the only ones who outrank Vegapunk are the Gorosei member. We have a Gorosei here now. That easily explains why the Seraphim are not listening. It's like you already have something simple set up. You don't need to go, well, Vegapunk is actually going to betray them all because he has a secret plan. Or you don't have to go into the Seraphim are like Android 18 and 19 or 17, and they're like developing much faster and they want to rebel. You don't need to go, oh, Vegapunk has an evil clone, like another new character, another new situation in this arc. It's like we're already at a tipping point where we have Kizaru, the Gorosei, the Seraphims are running wild. You want to introduce another new threat. It's like this is getting to the point of like in Wano, when we had Onigashima on fire, it was going to start falling. There were TNT bombs in the basement. Then there was the ghost. It's like, hey, yo, oh, I get it. You like your high stakes drama, but it's like there's like too much now. It's like, come on. They sent him there. Who sent what? What, Kizaru and Saturn sent the quote evil clone? Yeah. I mean, again, we'll see. Also, who knows? If it's an evil clone, this might have something to do with the cover story. It might have something to do with the cover story, where we see Vegapunk. He's all chipper. He's gonna go meet the 5 Elder Stars. He thought he was gonna like meet the president. He was gonna get like a handshake. Like, oh my god, I can't believe I'm meeting the 5 great powers of the world. Oh, this is awesome, man. You know, I think together we're gonna have a great team. We're gonna spread so much equality, freedom, blah 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 blah. And reality sets in where it's like, yeah, so we're gonna need you to not like spread your technology and be very isolationist with your tech. In fact, we're gonna keep you like on like a separate island and a watch list. So, yeah, yeah. In fact, we have like a boss that might actually eradicate you if you even touch like the ancient weapons and all that stuff. Also, we hear you're talking to O'Hara with Dr. Clover. We're gonna need you like to stop doing that. Yeah. Like, yo, I'm curious what's gonna happen. What's gonna happen with that cover story? But who knows? Who knows? Evil Vegapunk, clone Vegapunk, Seraphims are learning, Gorosei member, anything can happen. Hell, people will still think it's Caribou. They'll be like, "Oh, that was Caribou right there." He was like, "Yeah, Kurozu Muddo." It's like, oh, I don't know. If it's Caribou, then shit. Shit, man. Shit, okay. Caribou is much more of a beast than we gave him credit. Why would the Gorosei try to kill Lucci? Well, we already know why. They don't tolerate failure. Like, remember in CP9, they failed, and the world government not only burned down Annie's lobby, their like gateway to Impel Down and to Marineford. They said, "Hey, you failed once. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. Hell, they were going to kill Who's Who because they finally had a chance to catch him and kill him because he knew too much. What do you mean? What, like, yeah, of course they're going to kill Lucci. He failed. Like the world government are assholes. Like, it's clear. Like, they are assholes that demand the world and more of their subordinates. And if you fail once, you're getting freezed. As in, like, you're going to get obliterated. That's how it works. That's how it works. Anyway, all right. We've gone almost an hour and a half. Did not think we were going to go that long. So, we're going to wrap up the stream with the Q&As. We already did that. Once again, please, all who that are going to be listening right now live or who are going to be listening to the VOD later on, please, I appreciate it if you hit the subscribe button. Join. I know that a lot of you like my content, which I appreciate. I really do. If you want to show your appreciation more than just watching, hit that subscribe button. Like the video. Leave a comment. Hit the notification bell. All of that YouTube jargon that you always hear about. I greatly appreciate it. It goes on to support the channel into the future. We will get better over time. We have plans. They're going to be bearing fruit. I promise you. I promise you. And the next stream that we're going to be doing is tomorrow. Welcome to Demon School, 4 chapters. Very, very exciting. And then also tomorrow, if you're curious and want more of my takes on One Piece or whatever, go check out King of Lightning's Discord and Twitch, where we will be doing the roundtable discussion around probably like 7, 8 o'clock. So, yeah. Overall, chapter, it's like an 8. Maybe like a 7.5. You get some stuff here and there. Yeah. Not bad, but could be better. Oh, wait, are we on break? No. So next week, we should get a chapter as well. All right. So, with that all being said, Lupin, Julius, everyone that came today, everyone who is listening, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I appreciate all the support from you guys. And until next time, stay safe. And I hope you have a good day, good afternoon, good night, good evening, wherever you may be. Have a lovely, lovely day. And I hope we can all see each other again on the next stream. Take care. Have a nice one.